Hey there guys, in today's video I'm going to be talking about making progress with your animal utilizing very short training sessions. So in today's video I'm going to give you some examples of behaviors you can work with, setting yourself appropriately, and what you can expect in terms of these very small training sessions. So if that's something you guys are interested in seeing, you want to make sure to stick around because that's going to be coming up right after this. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at High Red Bird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. Now, one of the ways that I think that people fall into a bit of a trap or lose some of the enjoyment in taking care of their animals is when it comes to training. Now, as far as I am concerned, training is going to be the closest thing to direct communication that you are going to have with any animal. The examples I'm going to show you today are going to use parrots because parrots are very, very responsive in a training situation, but these approaches can be applied to just about any animal you are working with. And when I say it's communication, obviously you are giving your animal a cue, something you would like them to do. The animal then has a choice on how they want to respond, and based on that response, you have a choice on how you want to respond. So there is going to be this back and forth, and I think training is one of the best ways that you can build a relationship with your animal. Now the problem is, if you're not fluent in that language, you might run into a little bit of trouble. So just like you would learning a foreign language, I think it's really important that you get the opportunity to practice. So one of the things I advocate is very, very short training sessions. I also call these my coffee break training sessions. I want these training sessions to be something that I can do in the time it takes for my coffee to pour in the morning. And there's going to be a couple of reasons for that. One, I want to make sure that I'm not getting overwhelmed or bored, and that my animal isn't getting overwhelmed and bored. So by doing a very short training session, I know that I'm going to be able to avoid that. I also want to make sure that these are something that I am doing consistently, and I can guarantee that I am going to have my coffee every single morning. So that's a great way for me to ensure that I can move forward with these daily training sessions. Now, there are a lot of different behaviors that you can train your animal to do. And if you guys have a particular favorite behavior that you want to train your animal to do, please let me know in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys and seeing what your favorite things are to work with your animals. But there are a couple of behaviors that I'm going to focus on when it comes to these very short training sessions, these micro training sessions. I want to point out that during these very short training sessions, my goal is not to teach a brand new behavior. I am going to be doing those with very well thought out, very well planned training sessions. And don't get me wrong, these micro sessions need to be thought out and planned too. But like I told you guys, I like to do these training sessions while I am waiting on my coffee to pour. So I want them to be behaviors that my animal has already mastered and don't take that much effort on my part or their part, because I don't want to have to think about it too hard. Again, this is when I am first waking up in the morning. With these micro training sessions, I want to make sure that they are behaviors that are going to get a positive reaction from my animal and then get a positive reaction from me. So a couple of really easy things that you can focus on for these micro training sessions. A step up for a parrot is going to be a great behavior to practice. And you can work on this in a variety of ways. You can have them step up onto your hand. Some birds don't like to step up onto a hand. They want to step up onto a forearm. Some birds don't want to step up forwards, but they want to step up backwards. Some birds won't step up onto a hand at all, but they will step up onto a perch. So figure out what works best with your bird and practice it. A simple behavior like that you are working with your bird, you're going to teach them that you do a behavior, I reinforce you, you're building that behavior and you're building that reinforcement history. So even though it may not seem like a step up is going to be a behavior that you're going to use when you're working on other more advanced behaviors with your animal, because you have built that reinforcement history, it's going to make the training of those more advanced behaviors much easier to do. The only thing I'm going to ask you guys, if you are practicing a step up, please also practice a step down. I've seen a lot of birds that get a ton of practice at step up. They climb up on your hand, up to your shoulder, but then when you want to try to get them off of you, it can be a little bit difficult. So I would say practice that step up, but also practice that step down and make sure your bird is getting reinforced for both. A couple of other things that you can do really, really easily, things like crate training and scale training. Now, in order to do those, you want to make sure you have the materials you need readily available. But crate training is a great behavior to work on. You want to make sure that you're working on that before you actually need it. If you're ever in an emergency and you have to leave, if you're a little bit stressed out because you have a vacation coming up and you want to pack your bird up, if you need to go to a vet visit, I can tell you right now, having your animal trained to get into a crate is going to be a wonderful behavior to have in your arsenal. Having an animal trained to step onto a scale, not only does that get them used to new stimuli, but it gives you your animal's weight, which for birds especially is going to be one of the most important means of assessing your bird's overall health. If you want to move a little bit further, do some more advanced behaviors, one of my favorite things to work on with birds is going to be towel training. If your bird has to go to a veterinarian, if they need to be examined, what they're typically going to want to do is restrain them inside a towel because it limits the movement of their wings so they can't get hurt. It limits the ability to bite the veterinarian, which, small secret, veterinarians don't like getting bit, so it's usually easier for everyone involved. But you can make it even easier by training your bird to recognize a towel as something that is not scary. I usually do it as a form of a game, almost like a peekaboo. We start by pressing the bird, letting them see the towel, then lightly touching them with the towel, then letting the bird step up into the towel. I'm not gonna force the bird into the towel. I want them to make those decisions at their comfort level, which means a behavior like that isn't something you're gonna jump right into from one single training session. This is obviously going to be something that you're going to have to work on. But each of those small approximations or the small pieces that make up that finished behavior can be something that you're working on in a matter of 30 seconds to a minute. Maybe the first day you train your bird not to react when they see a towel set down on a table or a stand next to them. Maybe the next day you train them not to react as you move that towel a little bit closer to them. You reinforce your bird as they maybe target at the towel, touch the towel. The way that you're going to move forward with your individual bird is going to depend on your individual bird. You're going to have to develop a plan. But these are going to be some great ways that you can move forward with training with your bird. And if you are doing this regularly, if you are doing these training sessions daily, but you're limiting them to 1 to 2 minutes, you are not going to have that much strain on you. It's easy to squeeze 1 to 2 minutes into a day, but I can guarantee you, you are going to start to see progress with your bird. Another thing you're going to notice when you are doing those daily training sessions, you are going to start to see progress with you as a trainer. So if you have multiple animals that you are working with, building that reinforcement history with the one animal not only helps them with training down the line with more advanced training because they have that reinforcement history, it's going to help you with training every other animal because you're going to be more keyed on paying attention to that animal, reinforcing that animal appropriately. You are going to be teaching yourself the language of training, so it's definitely something that I recommend. So I certainly hope that this has helped you guys come up with some ideas for micro training sessions that you can do with your own birds, and I certainly hope it is something that you guys are going to try at home. If you guys have found this video helpful, please just give it a thumbs up. Share it if you want for anyone else you think might benefit from these little words of wisdom. I have been a professional animal caretaker for quite some time now, so I like to think that I have a little bit of ability to help people just move forward with enjoying their animals more. If you haven't, I encourage you guys to subscribe to the Hi Redbird channel so you don't miss out on any of these fun videos, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. I do need to say a special thank you to my patrons on Patreon. By signing up to support this channel, they help me make more tutorials and videos showcasing animal care possible. If you'd like to find out more about subscribing to my Patreon, you can find the link in the description section down below. Thanks so much.